Already 2 races have been cancelled in this season so far, and the Canadian GP was also at the risk of being postponed due to the raging wildfire in Canada. But gladly that didn't happen, and we will be witnessing some intense battles on track this week. So what we can expect from the Canadian Grand Prix, will Mercedes keep its form from the last race and gain the lead over Aston Martin? Or could Alonso finally get his win this weekend? And is there anyone who can stop Max Verstappen from winning the race with ease? Let's find out. Gilles Villeneuve Circuit, a revered gem in the world of Formula One racing. Named after the beloved Canadian racing icon, this track holds a special place in the hearts of fans and drivers alike. With its high-speed straights, tight chicanes, and unforgiving walls, this circuit demands precision, skill, and a fearless spirit from drivers as they navigate its twists and turns. While we are talking about the track itself, how can we forget about the Wall of Champions? For those of you who don't know, it's the last corner of the circuit, which might seem like a little corner before the main straight. But for drivers, it's a nightmare. Past champions of F1 such as Damon Hill, Michael Schumacher, Jacques Villeneuve, Jenson Button, and Sebastian Vettel all have crashed into this wall, hence why it's called Wall of Champions. That begs the question, will Max Verstappen claim his place in Wall of Champions? We have to wait to see that. Now let's talk about the teams and what they are planning for this race. First of the reigning world champions, Red Bull. It seems like Max Verstappen has more extra gear than everyone else out there on track. I mean, imagine opening a 24 seconds gap to second place in Spain, 27 seconds in Monaco, 20 seconds to the following non-Red Bull car in Saudi Arabia, and 38 seconds in Bahrain. Numbers don't lie, and it's clear that Red Bull are going to dominate this entire season. Now the team is eyeing to achieve the record of winning all the races in this season, a record that has never been achieved in the entire history of F1. Only Alain Prost and Ayrton Senna ever managed to get close to breaking this record in 1988, but failed to do so. When asked about the team's possible 100th win in Canadian GP, team boss Christian Horner said that the track is different and challenging, and weather being a crucial factor over there, so any wrong call in strategy or ill-timed pit stop can cost them the victory, as Aston Martin and Mercedes are right on their tail to snatch a win from them. Talking about Aston Martin, they have surprised everyone this season with 5 podium finishes so far. However, a bad qualifying session and lacking race pace in the Spanish GP caused Alonso to not get on the podium. But still, Alonso during the interview hinted that he might win the race in Montreal. While its rivals have already introduced huge upgrade packages in the last 2 races, Aston Martin is set to reveal their upgrades in Canada. Alonso claimed, "This is the last time we are not on the podium." The specific upgrades are not yet revealed, however. Whatever they have upcoming in their development plan makes it seem like they will surpass Mercedes' pace and might as well take the fight with Red Bull and claim a victory. After a disappointing race in Spain, team principal Mike Crack had to say this about his team's upgrade and his driver. "He is right to ask us and push us for that," Crack said. "There will be something coming in Canada. It will be a step." When asked if he felt the upgrades from their rivals had changed the pecking order, Crack said, "No, I don't think so. Because when we looked later in the race, when we had the hard tires on, for example, we were completely in the game again compared to the competitor. So we really need to understand what happened in the beginning there. It went obviously overcast very quickly from very sunny to overcast, which we thought would help the soft tires. But we need to understand why there was this difference in competitiveness at different times of the race. So will Alonso get his 33rd win in Formula One, and can Aston Martin claim its first win this season? That question remains to be answered. Let's talk about the Brackley-based team now, shall we? Mercedes is being called the dark horse by some F1 pundits after their impressive performance in Barcelona. After a double podium finish in Spain, most fans expect them to improve a lot in Canada and keep this consistent podium finish coming in. But that's far from the truth. Everyone was taken aback by the new Mercedes' surprising performance in Barcelona, which included side pods and a redesigned floor. The car obviously evolved, nearly giving fans optimism that the German team would emerge as Red Bull's main competition this year. Mercedes needs to do well at the 2023 F1 Canadian GP in order for it to happen. From a front tire limited Barcelona to a rear tire limited Canada, we are in transition. The German squad could use a much-needed morale lift if the car performs flawlessly on this track. Nevertheless, trackside engineering director Andrew Shovlin has stated that Mercedes will not be looking ahead at Red Bull in Montreal, but rather over their shoulders at competitors like Ferrari, Aston Martin, and Alpine. Shovlin said, "Well, probably both are true. The fact is that the update kit works very well around circuits like Barcelona with a lot of high-speed performance. The car itself would have still been okay there because we've been better at the fast circuits and the front-limited tracks. We ended up with a really good balance and really good race pace. Now, where we are going to go next, Montreal, it's a very different circuit. There are more low-speed corners, quite a lot of straight-line full throttle, and we would expect more of a challenge there. We are not thinking that we are going to nip at the heels of Red Bull. We are going in there prepared for a battle with Ferrari, Aston Martin, and maybe even Alpine." Apart from the technical upgrades and limitations of the car, Mercedes also faces the question of Lewis Hamilton's contract after this season. The Brit's contract expires at the end of the 2023 season, and although team boss Toto Wolff has claimed many times in the interview that Hamilton will be signing a new one and that talks are underway, no progress seems to be made so far. Hamilton is in the final year of the most recent Mercedes contract he signed back in 2021, and the two parties have been negotiating a new deal for some time. Hamilton was asked if he would remain at the team to drive next year's vehicle during Sunday's post-race press conference in Barcelona, when he spoke about the advancements Mercedes has made and his hopes for 2024. "I haven't signed anything yet, but I think we're meeting with Toto tomorrow, so hopefully we can get something done," said the seven-time world champion. Asked in a follow-up question about the subtle hint he had just dropped, Hamilton added, "It wasn't a subtle hint. We've had so many meetings. It's just another one of the meetings that we're having. It's always something that's at the back of your mind. So once that's done, then you're able to focus more and think about the future," he commented. "I'm working as hard as I can with this team, and I see so much strength within the team. I think they're still so hungry. On the podium today was really, really, really special to be able to see them in the distance. I saw them at the back. They're always at the back. To be able to see the excitement in all the people that I've worked with such a long time. And when we go back right now, there'll be a great energy within the office. But these guys, they'll take 2 seconds to enjoy themselves and be happy, and then they'll be back down into the books, trying to figure out how we can win the next race. So that's what I love about them." So not only Mercedes faces a severe challenge in Canada to even fight with Aston Martin, but also the tense contract negotiations between the team and the star driver. So we have to wait and see how the team performs under this pressure, and if the Mercedes W14B spec car is better performing at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. So that's all for today's video. What do you think? Will Mercedes be able to challenge Aston Martin, or will Alonso and his team be the best of the rest after Red Bull? And can anyone stop the charging Dutchman and his rocket RB19 car? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed watching this video, leave a like and share with your friends. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more videos like this. See you at the finish line.